The WWE has toned down some of its more dangerous moves, hoping to keep its superstars off the injured reserve, out of wheelchairs, and living long lives. Nonetheless, that hasn't stopped the WWE from reviving moves it once considered too brutal or controversial. Here are 7 banned moves the WWE brought back. Number 1. The Piledriver. The Piledriver has long been considered one of wrestling's most brutal looking moves, with some promotions such as Memphis Wrestling even kayfabe banning it, claiming it was too dangerous. Wrestlers such as Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, Bob Mr. Piledriver Sweeten, and Jerry the King Lawler took the Piledriver to new heights, making it look so good that it usually meant the end of a match. Unfortunately, a poorly executed piledriver is just as devastating in real life as it's supposed to be in the wrestling world. Stone Cold Steve Austin found this out when Owen Hart botched a piledriver at 1997 SummerSlam, momentarily paralysing Austin in the ring. The real-life injury led to eventual neck surgery for Austin, and ultimately shortened his career, with Austin retiring in 2003 at the age of 38. The WWF would ban the piledriver, but has brought it back on special occasions, such as wrestlers CM Punk and John Cena incurred Vince's fury when they used a piledriver without authorization during the 25th February 2013 episode of Raw. With the piledriver being banned, it shouldn't surprise you that The Undertaker's Tombstone piledriver was also banned. Since this was The Undertaker's finishing move, this might have been a problem. But The Undertaker got around this by launching a new finisher, a powerbomb he called The Last Ride. Since this time, the WWE has allowed The Undertaker to use the Tombstone in special circumstances, such as WrestleMania. Number 2. The Burning Hammer. While most of the banned maneuvers on this list were done to protect wrestlers' bodies, this one appears to have been done to protect John Cena's ego. Tyler Rex used a move known as the Burning Hammer during his early days in the WWE. That is until John Cena reportedly tore into him, telling the aspiring star his move resembled John Cena's attitude adjustment. In a 2014 interview, Rex recalled getting permission from Vince McMahon and road agent Arn Anderson to utilize the move. However, I used it at Bragging Rights 2010, and John was literally across the ring from me when I hit Santino Marella with it, and never said anything to me then. I'd been using it for 8 months on Superstars and everything before all this. I come backstage happy after a good match with Eddie, all excited, and John grabs me in front of everyone and says, "What do you think you're doing? I thought I told you to get a new finisher." I said, "Yeah, I thought you were joking, John. We hit it wrong last night, I'm really sorry." He started yelling at me, asking who gave me permission to use that. He belittled me, called me an idiot, and asked me if I enjoyed working here. I told him of course I do. He told me, "Find another finisher or you're fired." I was humiliated. I was a full-grown man. Why can't we talk about this like human beings? The Burning Hammer returned to the WWE during the Brian Kendrick and Kota Ibushi match at the 2016 Cruiserweight Classic. Number 3. The Shooting Star Press. During the Attitude Era, WWF superstars often took moves that resemble stunts by daredevils rather than traditional wrestlers. While these moves looked incredible and helped establish the legends of performers such as Mick Foley and teams such as Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, they also saw wrestlers' careers shortened and wrestlers sidelined with injuries that sometimes took over a year to recover from. Another risky move is the Shooting Star Press, a move that looks beautiful when executed correctly, but which can end a wrestler's career in an instant if performed incorrectly. As impressive as it was, a series of in-ring injuries led to the Shooting Star Press being banned. Shane McMahon botched one at 2001's King of the Ring, Brock Lesnar miscalculated one at WrestleMania 19, and Billy Kidman nearly rearranged Chavo Guerrero's head. The WWE banned the move in 2004, but after wrestler Evan Bourne proved he could execute it successfully, it was brought back. Number 4. The Curb Stomp. The Curb Stomp is a move based on the all-too-real street fighting techniques found around the world, whether it would be on the blood-soaked streets of Chicago, Illinois, or the mean streets of Greenwich, Connecticut. Seth Rollins' use of the Curb Stomp made for one of wrestling's most effective-looking finishers, but suddenly he stopped using it. instead utilizing Triple H's pedigree as his new finisher. Why did the Curb Stomp disappear? According to a 2018 interview, Rollins had just appeared on the Today Show to promote his WWE World Heavyweight Championship win at WrestleMania 31, when Vince McMahon made a decision concerning the move. So Vince McMahon is sitting wherever Vince McMahon sits on a Monday morning, and he's seeing me on the Today Show, and I look good in a suit. I'm representing the company. I look good in a suit, and I'm wearing the title, and then he sees this package of me stomping another man's head into the ground and it being called a curb stomp on national television, and he thought to himself, well, that's not a good representation of what I want my top guy to do. So he just had a meeting with some of his people, and they decided, well, we don't need it. We can figure out another finisher for you, and the rest is history. I get it. I hate it. I think it's silly, but it is what it is, and it's not my company. I'm doing the best I can with it. Another theory is that while no one has been seriously hurt by the move, although Brock Lesnar did get busted open due to a miscue, the WWE is battling a class action lawsuit, and the move might be seen as harmful to the WWE's defense. Whatever the reason, the Curb Stomp reappeared on a recent edition of Raw when the Architect used it against Finn Balor. The move was renamed the Blackout, which may support Rollins' take on why the Curb Stomp was initially banned. Number 5. The Vertabreaker. WCW's Shane Helms used the Vertabreaker during his time in WCW, but found himself forced to abandon the move shortly after he began his WWE run. In a 2016 interview, Helms discussed the reason behind it. At the time, there had been a string of neck injuries in WWE, and they were getting away from anything where you landed on your neck. Helms said, even the German suplexes were modified. You wouldn't see the guys doing the Japanese style where they drop someone on their head. It was something I knew was coming anyway. I was prepared for it. I was off and running as the Hurricane, so I didn't need that. Although the move was banned, it returned out of all places a WWE house show. A 2016 house show match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles saw the Vertabreaker return, a moment almost as rare as Roman Reigns being cheered. Number 6. The Styles Clash. This finisher had been part of AJ Styles' moveset for a number of years, using it in TNA, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. 99% of the time, the move would be executed perfectly, but there have been a handful of occasions where the move has gone totally wrong. Former WWE wrestler Yoshitatsu suffered 2 broken bones in his neck after a botched Styles Clash in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Though Styles initially managed to bring the move over to WWE, it was banned very quickly and deemed too unsafe. He would instead adopt the phenomenal forearm as his finisher. However, according to ProWrestling.com, Chris Jericho was the one who convinced Vince McMahon to unban the Styles Clash. He mentioned, and that's the one when I basically got the Styles Clash unbanned, because it was banned, and I was like, I knew that Vince had heard that somebody got hurt by the move, but I also knew that he probably didn't even know what the move was. He just knew the name, the Styles Clash. So I pitched it to him as that cool move that AJ does when he drops you on your face. We did it at WrestleMania. We did it a couple times. And number 7. Blood. Of course it's not technically a wrestling move, but during the territory days of wrestling, fans brought tickets for house shows with the knowledge that there will be blood. Just look at the forehead from any wrestler from this era and you'll see a mass of scar tissue more akin to a road map than human flesh. However, when the WWF ushered in the rock and wrestling family-friendly era of Hulkamania, blood became a rarity. That didn't stop wrestlers like Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin from sneaking blood into important matches, such as their submission match at WrestleMania 13. However, blading without Vinnie Mac's permission is not without consequences, as the Nature Boy Ric Flair found out when he jigged himself during a WrestleMania 8 match with Randy Macho Man Savage. According to some stories, an irate Vince McMahon nearly fired Flair on the spot, but during the Attitude Era, blood became more common. But once again, a shift to a supposedly more family-friendly product saw the WWE stop blood altogether. That and legitimate concerns over blood-related diseases such as hepatitis. However, the WWE has used blood on occasion, such as the Randy Orton vs Brock Lesnar match at 2016 SummerSlam, where Lesnar busted Orton open the hard way and a similar hardware cut when Kevin Owens headbutted Vince McMahon on SmackDown. Well guys, there you have it, 7 banned moves the WWE brought back. Are there any moves you'd like to see return? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.